Hello everyone. This is a quick 3 month review of investing with AltGraaf, Grip and Wint. So in this video, I'll be covering why I started investing on these platforms, why am I making this video, and then I'll be comparing how these platforms, return rates, deal qualities compare with each other. How has been the customer support? How are the repayments? I'll also show my dashboard and portfolio, and final thoughts on what do I think after a small 3 month journey with these platforms. So, a quick context on why I started investing on these platforms. So, these platforms have been, working since last 3 to 5 years on, and they claim to offer really attractive returns between 11 to 14%. And these are stable returns. They also call them fixed income returns. These are not market linked like mutual funds or stocks. So yes, they look very attractive. I have been following them since 3 to 5 years, but there is very little information available online. So I spoke to a few of my friends, a lot of my friends in fact, and none of them had invested in these. Very few had heard about these. I also tried to speak to financial professionals like wealth managers and planners, and like because these asset classes are new for the retail investors. Everybody, especially professionals, are skeptical because they manage money for their clients, so they do not want to take risk in such classes, asset classes. So things were not very promising on to that could give me enough confidence to start investing in these. But because they seemed really attractive, I started. I thought of putting my own money in and see how things go. And the whole purpose of this video is to like, if somebody else is looking for such information, they could understand how these platforms work, right? So the onboarding is fairly simple. It's a digital KYC. It takes 1 to 2 days to get approved, and you can start investing. It is the similar process for all three platforms. Now, coming to the deal qualities and XIRRs on on these platforms. So this is my understanding of these three platforms. So the XIRRs on Wint Wealth is usually between 9.5 to 11.5. Sometimes it goes to 11.75. This is higher for Grip and AltGraaf. But I also feel that the security and risk mitigations is better on Wint. This also shows in the fact that the defaults have been 0% on Wint, and Grip and AltGraaf, these have been 0.10, 0.4%. Now these numbers have been taken from their website. I cannot back check them from anywhere. I have spoken to their team, but and they say the same thing. So I'll have to take their word for it, right? Even 0.2% and 0.4% is very good, but like 0% is just better. Grip and AltGraaf offer slightly better return rates. Coming to their offerings, Wint Wealth mostly offers corporate bonds. They also offer high rate FDs. I'm not going to discuss about them here. Grip offers corporate bonds and SDIs. These are securitized debt instruments. They claim that they are the first ones to get these SEBI approved and so on. And they also usually give 13% like solid returns, right? AltGraaf, on the other hand, do not offer SEBI approved bonds. Most of the bonds are unlisted, and majority of deals that I have seen on AltGraaf are invoice discounting or invoice financing, right? However, the AUM managed by AltGraaf is on the highest side. So yes, this is how things look, and I'll also show on the dashboard as well, on the live dashboard as well, on how these look, right? Coming to the customer support, I felt like I do not have complaints with anyone. All of them do a fairly good job. But there's a small distinction that before registration, Wint Wealth is more accessible, and they seem to be more helpful. However, I found difficulties in contacting and accessing AltGraaf and Grip customer support. Once the registration is complete, the KYC is complete, Then AltGraaf and Grip, they offer dedicated relationship managers who are available on phone number, on phone call, on WhatsApp. It is just better than, right? And for Wint, it is the same company WhatsApp helpline. They take 2 to 3 hours to respond to any query. I'm not saying that like all of my queries have been responded in a very helpful manner. So I do not have any complaints here, but I'd say that their customer support is better. In the last 3 months, all of the repayments have been timely. There have been a total 23 transactions to be precise, and there hasn't been any single delay as well. No defaults, no delay. And one very positive thing that I found was that all of the repayments are very well notified. So a couple of days before the payment, they'll mail you that this repayment is due on such and such date, and you'll be getting this on in your bank. So that is very helpful. It builds a lot of confidence, and this is true for all three platforms. So the repayment, the overall experience of repayment has been very pleasant, right? So I have been very satisfied with it, right? I'll just show how my dashboards look on these platforms. So this one is Grip right now, and this is the amount invested in Grip. This is my current XIRR of both the deals combined, right? I have received 56,000 as of now, and these are some charts. This is my relationship manager. This is how my returns look, like how they have been till now. So there's a breakup here as well, that whether this 340 rupees was principal or this was purely interest, how much TDS has been deducted. It is very clearly shown. I can download this in CSV as well, and these are the upcoming payments. So for example, this includes principal and interest. So yes, it is like quite good information. I cannot ask for anything else, and I can also see via my investments as well, like individually. So I have invested in two deals. One is bond and the other is SDIs, as I mentioned, securitized debt instrument. And this is the return schedule. These have been completed and these are scheduled, right? So yes, fairly nice, and no complaints here. Coming to AltGraaf, this is how AltGraaf's dashboard looks. I have invested 229 in total here. I have 93 has been repaid, and very similar to Grip, to be very honest. These have been the recent transactions that I have received, and these are the upcoming repayments. And as of now, there does not seem to be any delay. And I can again see individual investment also. On AltGraaf, there are short-term investments as well. So one has been fully repaid. I guess it was 30 or 60-day repayment, something like that. Coming to the opportunities, as I said, that sometimes there is a higher return rate opportunity as well. So currently they are running 17.54 IRR return, which is quite good, to be very honest, but they have very clearly mentioned that it is high risk as well. So yes, they give a lot of good information around these, that what is happening, all the company details, that whatever you would want to see are here. And if you want to see more details, you can ask from the relationship manager. So for example, in this particular deal, I asked for more detail, that I could not find the financials of the company here, and he shared those with me over WhatsApp. On AltGraaf, majority of usually that I see, invoice discounting deals are more frequent here, and if there is a debt, it is usually that I have seen is unlisted. Coming to Grip, how things work here. As I said, there are SDIs here, which are SEBI regulated and RBI regulated. So I feel these are slightly safer as compared to the other platform. And once again, IRRs in the tune of 12.8, 13, 13.25, and so on. So final thoughts after using these for 3 months. So first of all, 3 months is a very short duration for to comment whether this investment strategy is good or bad. I can say that as of now, I'm fairly happy with how things are going here. I'm not recommending these to anybody. Please understand this. Um, uh, Investment is very personal choice, and you need to do your own analysis and due diligence research, and based on your targets and risk appetite, you should invest, right? So the purpose of this video once again is to show very transparently on how my journey is going with these platforms, right? So one more thing that I feel like sharing is that the returns that you actually realize are slightly different. Like these instruments work different than FDs and stocks, right? So you get the principal also returned in between your journey, and that affects the final amount realized profits that you get, right? So you need to have a clear understanding of IRRs and XIRRs, how they work. For me personally, I plan to increase my portfolio with these platforms because I find them like good as of now. If there are any delays, if there are any defaults, if you know the IRRs start to increase or decrease, I'll try to share them here as much as I can. Finally, if you have any doubts or questions about these platforms, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to discuss and answer based on whatever I understand. And yeah, have a good one.